It started. I'm gonna let this sink in a little bit longer, Josh, than usual. Kind of need it. It's been a long week. How you been, bud?
Good. How you been?
Busy, busy, busy. Not 20 hours a day like you busy, but definitely busy.
Yeah. What'd you do this? What was on your agenda this week? I know you went on a trip. Where'd you go?
Yeah, headed out to Colorado Springs. First time ever there. Was quite the experience. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Um, Clayton out there put together the silver certification uh, class out there. I wanted you to go with me actually, but I think they only allow like so many places per state or something like that. Super cool event though. Met some really cool guys from other states. Not all of them gung ho on the girls' side of wrestling, but Terry came out and kind of talked to everybody, even the ones that weren't really interested, and just kind of like really dropped it on the guys and we're like, hey, like if you aren't on board, this is my journey. I wasn't super on board either, and here I am. You know, since 2000, I think he took over in 2001, and yeah, he's just let it out there. Like, what's the bad side about having girls wrestle? And if you're complaining about the quality's not there or anything like that, that's really falls on your lap. Sorry, I got the ghetto bird around today. I know what's going on. We got a spotlight. So yeah, so it was really cool. Met some guys from Montana, Nevada. Guys were super cool. Um, uh, Coach Paul from Southern Oregon was there, so that was cool to see him. As always, he's a super cool guy. Um, yeah, Montana, Colorado, obviously. Um, the young lady who runs Wyoming, girls, she went on the trip that Mario's currently on right now. Gave her opinion on that. It was interesting. Then I got to sit down and talk to some really cool girls on the national team, resident athletes, stuff like that. Got some perspective from some of them. Um, some talked to some athletes, kind of walked around because the Greco team was some of the Greco guys were there too, stuff like that. Got some opinions on flow, which I would have thought initially everybody thought pretty highly of flow, but they made some really good points because like how many artists that are like recording or acting or whatever don't have access to their content, the things that they provide, right? Like if you're in a movie, generally you at least get a DVD, right? Or you have access to a DVD, or if you record something, you at least get an audio track, right? They were saying that even if they're on the national team, the world team, they don't have access to Flow, so they can't even watch their own matches.
We have to pay for it.
They gotta all have their own individual Flow account, which
Wow.
I thought was shocking. I really thought that was shocking. Like you would think if they have a contract with USA Wrestling, that would be part of it.
It's a money grab for Flow, so why wouldn't they, grab the athletes' money too?
Yeah, I guess so, man. It was that shocked me more than anything. And I get I got to go back and look because uh, I had a great time talking with Jakara Winchester. She was a crack up. Her and Maya Nelson, dude, they are just a couple girls that were hilarious. And I guess my Jakara had her had her interview edited when she was on Flow because she kind of takes it as an insult. She's very serious. She's very serious about her training. She's very serious about what she does. She's working with Coach Izzy a lot, and she believes with everything in her heart she's going to be a world champ. And they kind of like slough her off, and that she takes that as I think she should, as kind of disrespectful, because you got some male athletes who this is their first world team, and when they say they're going to win worlds, Flo is like, yes, they're going to win worlds, and they're all behind it and stuff. So granted, some of those guys have some elite wins, and maybe they have a little bit more to it, but Jakara wrestled great. I mean, she wrestled Becca Leathers really tough at the trials at the Final X, and if you could beat Becca Leathers,
Who's a returning world medalist?
yeah, if you could beat her the way Jakara did, like I wouldn't doubt that you have the ability to really place high. So that I she gave me some good insight on that, and then I ran into a really good friend, Amanda Hindi, when I was out there, and it was just nice to talk to her and see her and kind of get a feel for where she's been and what she's doing. So that was really cool. But yeah, the whole thing was super awesome, dude. Like I said, I wish you had made it, but I know you're super busy with work and stuff. But
yeah, stupid work keeps getting in the way of wrestling all the time. It's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. How come wrestling doesn't just pay the bills already?
I
So
don't know.
that was cool. How's everything on your end?
Good, just grinding away and practicing. We didn't go up to World Challenge. We're saving it. We're going next week to Freak Show. So we're taking a handful of kids, I think 7, 8 kids, boys and girls up there. So that's going to be good, see if they've made some changes. I got an email the other day saying they are going to session the World Challenge. I mean, they are going to session Freak Show, which usually ends up horrible for coaches that have boys and girls coaching because you end up being there both sessions anyway. But for the athletes, it might be better that you don't need to show up till noon. You don't have to sit there till 7:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when they decide to end on the first day, and you maybe get one match in, and then you go Sunday and you wait 3/4 of the day, and then you wrestle 5 matches in an hour.
Yeah,
especially for girls has been the case, but hopefully they learn and they know that girls market keeps growing. It's probably not, it's probably a tenth of the size of the boys market, but as the numbers keep coming, they need to service that part of the industry to keep, girls coaches coming, because the girls coaches are the ones driving that. I mean, you're not going because you've had bad experiences. So
yeah. I mean, there's some Somar girls will be there, but I just I'm not thrilled about how they treat the girls. I'm very honest about it. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope they do better. I mean, it would be good for everybody. It'd be good for the girls. It'd be good for the tournament. So. But what do you think of the World Challenge, though?
I followed along a little bit. It was some pretty good as far as girls go. They had some pretty good brackets down in the lower weights up to like 140 or something. And then literally state qualifier placers, literally 80% state qualifier and placers in each one of those brackets. And then like 154, like 135, it was like 100 to 135. They had some pretty good. But then once you got to 154 to 161 was the heaviest girl there. There was only 2 girls there. So I don't know if all the heavier girls were down at the Somar takedown shootout thing or what, but it was kind of odd to see so many good girls down in the low weights, and then once you get past the middle weights, there's really nobody there. But they had some of these young up and comers that we've been talking about, and the Katie Gomez, the Jen Sotos, they put on little performances this week. Trying to look at the results.
Yeah, I know Katie kind of had her way through the bracket. I think
Katie had her way, and Cristal, who we talked about, she had her way through the bracket too.
Yeah,
beating 2 state placers on her way to winning. So that's she beat Warden Mendoza up at 105, and she's really a 101 pounder. So when she's little, and then I think at 117 is where Katie Gomez was there and wrestled.
She had Kermouzian in the finals.
Charlotte in the finals had a pretty good match. I think it ended up. Track says 5-0, but I think it was like 9-2. If I'm remembering right. No, sorry, that was the consolation side of the finals was 9-2.
Oh, okay.
Between Soto and Samantha Martinez.
Yeah.
So that was pretty. Katie beating somebody like Charlotte 5-0. I know they've wrestled probably 20 times already in the last year. Seems like every finals they go to, they're wrestling each other.
Well, the shock of that was I don't know if it was a shock because Martinez is really tough, but just a good match early on, I should say, was Soto versus Martinez. In the second round. That was, really good.
Yeah, and Martinez came out the victor on that one. That was, I mean,
But
I
then
don't know.
But then Soto flipped it on the wrestle back.
Right. So I don't know if there was weight cutting involved, and girls are notoriously above their wrestling weight at earlier in the season.
Yeah.
It seems like a little more than boys. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. Everyone kind of seemed to get off to a slow start on the wrestling side. Those first matches were some, I don't know if we call them upsets, but they were kind of like when you're looking on paper at credentials, you're expecting one person to win by quite a bit, and then they end up losing.
Yeah. It's good to see Genesis Forte getting back to what she's used to doing. Obviously, I didn't. Her fight wasn't that great. Is that what it was? Like, I just feel like I haven't heard a lot about her in the offseason this year.
She's actually been going down to like the Lawa stuff, and she's not hanging out in the Central Valley. I know she's been going out to LAWA, and I don't know if she's wrestling boys or what.
Did you see Zal Estrada ran through the 101 bracket?
Yeah, I did see she ran through that bracket, and she's like maybe a 7th grader, 6th grader, something like that.
Yeah. She went by 4-2 and then 7-0 against Oliveira. So I'm not sure how deep that was exactly, but I mean, still good for a 7th grader to run in and do that. So that's cool. Let's see here. She's got a lot of experience, though, huh? She's looking pretty good. I think, honestly, I mean, we try hard to kind of get away from a lot of the events that like the World Challenge and stuff like that. It's just super hard, and it ends up kind of costing us because coaches who want to take like their elite girls, they only have a couple elite girls maybe, and they want to go up to the World Challenge. Then their girls don't have anybody to drive them to the Somar event. It kind of happened with Golden Valley. Golden Valley thought we were on Saturday actually, so they drove down yesterday and they were like, "Hey, it's Sunday." So Coach Camino, who's always at our events, he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. Like I thought it was Saturday." And then he messaged me like, "Hey, we're not going to be able to make it for Sunday." So that kind of hurt some of our upper weights. We had some Buyers team just didn't have anybody. Like nobody showed up. I don't know what happened. So luckily we had a lot of girls come in. We put it out there like, hey, if you want to make a team and you didn't get drafted, if somebody doesn't make weight, somebody doesn't show up, you guys can come in and make the team still. And they did. Like they showed up, they weighed in. So basically everybody had almost a full team. We had one that we forfeited. I know Bowers had one he had forfeited. Byers had two that he forfeited. And then I think Mike Kim had one that he forfeited. So everybody else was full. We were able to get out all those, all those singlets and everything to the girls. So that was fun. I don't know if you knew what we were doing, but we called it taking down cancer. Bowers' mom died of lupus, so his team was lupus awareness. Cerritos one was breast cancer, so we had breast cancer awareness. Lymphoma was Coach Byers, and then childhood leukemia was Coach Mike Kim at Kennedy. So it was cool. We got some good matchups. So it kind of worked out weird because basically if somebody doesn't show up, we announce it. Everybody who's there extra comes down and weighs in after the teams weigh in, so we have gaps. And then what do you know? Cheyenne Bowman just happened to be there, and Danielle Garcia just happened to be there, and so we ended up having them I had to explain everything again, like, hey, look, they weigh in. They don't just automatically go to a team. You got to go into the draft. And then we ended up redrafting those extra girls in order. So Byers, Kim, Bowers, me. So I had a 4th-round pick. So I didn't really get.
So let me ask you this: when Cheyenne Bowman shows up as a extra, right? So what round in the draft does she go?
So you would think she would go 1st round, but she ended up going 3rd.
How did that happen?
I think
was there like money exchanging hands or what?
No, because trades are not allowed. We allowed trades once, okay?
Yeah, was somebody giving out gift cards to like restaurants or something or what?
That happened with Matt Burr. It's at a 5-star restaurant. It's an amazing place. And Matt's extremely generous. He always hooks people up. And he wanted to have a stacked team. So he was like, dude, gift cards were flying everywhere. And next thing you know, these teams are like super stacked. And I'm like, dude, no, we got to stop. Like the whole point of having the draft order is so that we have balanced teams, right?
Right.
So these guys, like they want to win. I mean, winning is fun. I get it, but we want to have like every dual meet be balanced so that everyone's a hammer. Everybody's like competing. So with this situation, Coach Bowers wanted to have Danielle Garcia on his team. He drafted somebody that unfortunately didn't show up. I don't know whether he knew it or not, but he drafted a girl, didn't show up for that weight, and he thought he would just slide her in. And the same thing, I guess, happened with Bowman. He thought, okay, yeah, so he'll slide her in. But unfortunately, that's not how we do things. We haven't done them. And maybe I should have made it more clear. But in all fairness, I thought, hey, look, there's other coaches with those weight classes also missing. We don't want to have a stacked team. So you got to go in draft order. And it doesn't benefit me because I'm round 4, okay? Like I said, and so Bowers, he took it with a grain of salt. He was good about it at the end. But so I just think Byers and Mike Kim maybe didn't notice Bowman was on the list or didn't want to make any waves. Like they didn't want to ruffle Bowers.
They weren't expecting to see somebody like Cheyenne just sitting there like, take me.
Oh, like, does anybody want me? Like, yeah, we want a world team member. So Bowers is stuck there with this conundrum because nobody took Danny or Bowman, and Danny's a placer from 2 years ago, so she's obviously hammer. And I had the weight empty. I know Byers had the weight empty, and then Kim actually had a really tough girl in Savannah Kiddu at that weight, so he was fine. And so I'm like waiting. I'm thinking like, hey, Bowers at least going to get Bowman, so that'll still leave me with Danny. And then he didn't. So then Bowers is sitting there like he's in a conundrum now because Danielle Garcia wrestles for him on his team. And so do you take the world team member or do you take the girl who wrestles for you and risk upsetting her? And he took Bowman. And the one thing about Bowers though, you gotta give it to the guy. He's always thinking ahead. He's always he's always got steps ahead. And I think that was the smartest decision he could have made because it paid off for him in the long run. Okay. Now, the reason I say that is that, okay, so he takes Bowman, right? So the way the draft goes is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So being the 4th pick, I get the 4th and the 5th pick. Okay. So whatever, right? So we go through the list and everything. I get my girl and I get the next girl who he obviously wanted to, which is Nelly Mendoza, who was a former state qualifier before. And she's at Roland now, so she's really tough.
So her and Cheyenne carpooled.
Exactly. So I got pretty good girls, to fill in my holes because Heaven Herrez didn't make it, Anya Drury didn't make it, Niall Jernigan didn't make it, and those are big guns for us. And so, I ended up filling them up pretty good. So fast forward to the finals, and second round, third round, round before the last round, it's Danielle Garcia and Savannah Kiddu in that round, and it's a great match. They're scrambling like state placers should scramble, and they're shot reshots and great stuff. And Danielle beats her, nothing seems to be wrong, everything's good. And we line up and our last round's against Bowers. Again, everybody said Bowers is a smart guy. You can't shake it off that he's a smart guy. So Bowers has us in the last round. And what do you know? I turn around and I see Danny Garcia getting her knee taped and iced. And I look and I'm like, and I look at my daughter who's coaching the team, and she's like, see this? And I was like, what happened? She's like, she's hurt. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's okay. Now, the way the takedown duels work is that if you get a 5-0 match, it's considered a pin. So it's 6. If you win before regulation, it's 5. Okay. If you win in a regular match, it's 3. But forfeits are also only 3.
Oh, that's good.
Wrestling. Okay. So I'm looking, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So Danny Garcia oh, I'm hurt. Like Bowers pulls her from the match. She's icing. She's pulled from the match. And I look and I'm like, now I have Liz Salapaga on the other side. She's a Somar Select girl. And I'm like, and Des looks at me and she's like, that's not how we do it. I was like, no, absolutely. It's not how we do it. And then she was like, don't even think it. I'm like, I'm not thinking. I mean, it's in my head, obviously, but I'm like, we just don't do that. We would never do that to our girls. So I just was like, who knows? Maybe Danny was hurt.
If she's banged up at all, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's looking out for the best thing of his athlete, not to win the Somar takedown cancer shootout.
If you think that every win doesn't mean something to Bowers, you're out of your mind. But you're right. You're right. Like I said, it's always about the kids, and if you got to protect them, you got to protect them. It seemed awfully,
maybe he's saving her next week for Freak Show. I don't know.
He could be, he could be. I was like laughing. I was like, my God. So we wrestled through, and then Salapaga goes on and beats Buenostro from Monroe, the 189 pounder, which is like a shock match, and then so we were like in the match all the way up until then. Cooper beat Sid Ramos from Titan Mercury Downey High School. Beat her, and so we were really in the match. We ended up losing 26-18 with that swing with Danny, because Danny would have 5-0'd her girl. She had somebody that wasn't really experienced. Likelihood of that 5-0 coming, that's a 9-point swing right there. that one match is a 9-point swing. So because they took the 6 off of us and put the 3 onto them. So it's yeah. It just was.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Didn't you guys forfeit against Cheyenne in that duel? So you only gave up 3 and not 6?
Yeah. So then we ended up doing that.
Oh, so it was a little strategy. Like,
yeah. So after, once it came down to that, it's like, okay, I'm not going to send this new girl out there against a world team member. Like, it wasn't actually, I don't even know that we had the weight, because we were missing 150. And Bowman was wrestling pretty big. I think they had her at 160 at Montclair this weekend. I don't even know if she was a 160, but they had her there. But she was wrestling big. So we were missing that weight, like I said.
I'm sure she could fare pretty good in between 130 and 190.
Yeah, sure she could. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if she necessarily just fell in that forfeit. If that's the case, then we double forfeited there, because we would have forfeited to her, then forfeited another match right after that. So really, we were in a hole no matter what. So it was just kind of like, okay, that is what it is.
So was it bracket style, or did everybody wrestle everybody?
It was a round robin. So it was only 4 teams, round robin, out of there by 11:30. We were done, got pictures and everything. It was good. It was awesome. Roland, Johnny Prada there as a referee. So it was all fun. I mean, it wasn't anything. There was no trophy this year. There wasn't anything like that. Because there's so many tournaments going on, like the participation was kind of down this year. If we would have hit like 100, like we do typically every takedown tournament, then we probably could have did the whole thing like we usually do, shirt, short, singlets, get them through. But participation was down a little bit, so we just kind of still just got it in. So it was fun. It was cool having Kennedy there. It was the first time there in the series and stuff. So it was good. But so did you see the state schedule came out?
Yeah, I did. It's neat for the first day, but then the second day kind of sucks. I mean, I would be there anyway, but I'm just saying, as a parent and or a fan of a boy or a girl, like, they're mashing the whole on Friday. Everybody wrestles together sessions. Boys and girls are wrestling sessions from 8:30 in the morning to 9 at night, or something, like 9 in the morning to 8:30 at night. It's like the whole point of sessions is to break it up and have maybe girls wrestle in the morning, boys wrestle in the afternoon, boys wrestle in the morning, girls wrestle in the afternoon, whatever. I mean, some sort of sessions, not let's just bunch everybody together and make it one big giant cluster again.
Yeah. I mean, there could be a lot of grouchy people. You would think that even the tournament runners, the ones who are actually punching everything in, they would want an opportunity to just focus on the boys, switch over, focus on the girls. I mean, it's going to take more manpower, I think, to do it the way you're saying, which, I mean, not to say that it would take any less. I guess you would still want to give people breaks and stuff like that. But it just seems like, it would be a little bit the time management would be a little bit easier. And for some of these coaches too, some of these girls could actually have their head coach in their corner if you were to separate them. In this, the way they're doing it right now, it's not really fair still, because those girls may never have their head coach in their corner because they focus on the boys or whatever, when it could mean a lot to them to have their coach in their corner.
Yeah, and especially like, let's just take a school like Buchanan, has 13 kids wrestling, and they got one girl, hypothetically, like they got one girl at the state meet and 13 boys. Well, most of the attention is going to go to the 13 boys, which it really should be. I mean, I'm sure she's going to have a coach dedicated to her, but you're right on that. Now, the only thing I could think of not separating boys and girls might be the issue of 45-minute rule, since girls seem to blow through mat times at a rate of, boys will have a bunch of double overtime matches first and second round of state, and girls are going 25 seconds to a pin or a tech.
Yeah, and I mean that's something too I kind of voiced when I initially heard they were expanding the bracket, was our baselines finally starting to catch up with the current bracket size we had last year. When you're expanding that now you're going to have some blow through matches where they're just blown out, and girls are going to get done and get out of there. So yeah, I could see that. I guess that would be a problem. But I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know about that whole 45-minute rule when you've only wrestled 30 seconds. Like, is it really fair to make you wait 45 minutes again?
No.
It's and then you have a 5-match rule that you can't really go over too much, and like all that stuff. Like, it just, come on now. We're wrestlers. You know?
And then, I mean, boys and girls weigh-ins are like 15 minutes apart on Saturday.
That's not going to work.
I mean, on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at the schedule right now. Yeah, they're 30 minutes apart on Friday, the weigh-ins are. And they're 30 minutes apart every day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So they're literally going 3 full days. Now, at least on Saturday, it's placements only. Like, pretty much if you make it to Saturday, you're placing. But yeah, it's just like, it makes no sense to me. You're running boys and girls rounds together the whole time. I think in the matter of being fair and equal, which, to me is kind of dumb in certain aspects, on this issue, like they're trying to like not have the girls go Thursday and Friday mostly, and then the boys go Friday and Saturday, which I think would have been a fine and equitable solution,
Yeah.
Not like the boys get the stage and the girls don't, because nobody's getting the stage. So as of yet, I know they're still talking about it and trying to figure out logistics, is what I've heard on how to do it. I know a couple of people that are in the entertainment industry have said, well, my guys can build a stage in half an hour. They don't need to do it in 4 hours like the union guys over at Rabobank. But
what would they do? Like just like the NCAAs or at Fargo or whatever, or even Oklahoma. Why not during the middle rounds? You just have 2 stages built the whole time, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, have those stages built. 2 mats are up there. Have everybody else around them. You're just running the placing rounds, anyways.
Well, the thing is, there's a 2-hour break. Like, there's a 2.5-hour break between when the placement rounds of the boys are wrestling and getting over on session 3 before session 4 anyway. So they really could do a stage in 2.5 hours. Yeah. They could do 2 stages.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the finals start at 5, which normally I think they start at 6 or 6:30, because it's usually, maybe even 7. I don't know. I'm in my head, I'm just trying to think when we end. We usually end about 10:15, and you drive home and you get home at 2 a.m.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems to me like it'd be more doable to be able to do that, even building 2 stages and having the kids be able to have that moment. It's a huge moment, especially we have a single class. I think they kind of deserve it personally. But yeah, I think it's the first year. Hopefully they get it, they dial it in. and
So, and they're doing the awards for, which I don't, I guess because they're running them simultaneously, they're doing 2 rounds of finals for boys and girls, followed by awards for boys and girls first finals. Awards for both genders will be distributed at the conclusion of each final round from that point forward. So, like, I think that's dumb on the end of it too. Like, so you have John Sack taking a picture of every state placer, champion, whatever, right? For all the placers for that round. Well, is he going to be able to get both? Are they going to be right next to each other? Where are they going to be,
Yeah. Are they going to probably use the same? Are they going to use the same setup? Boom, or is it going to be?
No, it says they're going to be done simultaneously. So yeah. I don't know. That's one of those TBDs that they're going to figure out how to screw it up. But
yeah, who knows, man? I hope they freaking figure it out, because it's going to be frustrating the first couple of years, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see. The season's coming quick. It's going. I think the first right after this is pretty much Halloween Open, which I don't know. Historically, there's always girls there, but I don't know if it's a huge girls draw. But after Freak Show, pretty much season starting.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, It's kind of funny. I just don't feel like there's been a break.
No, it seems like it's coming quick.
Yeah, it's just racing up, and now it's about managing the time, managing the matches, managing the little things a little sooner than usual. I know for us, I'm talking to my girls about the approach we want to take this year and some of the ideas that we have. Because we're not just planning. I mean, obviously, CIF State's the biggest, big thing for folk style, but we've got to kind of lay the groundwork out for the whole year, up and through May, really, pretty much. Because after that, I mean, obviously, you got your Fargo qualifier, stuff like that, but we really want to kind of manage it as much as we can, where we can minimize injuries and still get training in and stuff like that. So we've been having a lot of discussions about that, more than we usually have. I think now too, especially because we have girls from different parts of California now. So, and man, we have parents that are driving in 20 hours every weekend, and it's like, I feel bad for them, but I mean, on the other side too, it's kind of a good thing because the girls are really getting close. They're really big bonding. So, but just managing a high school season it just seems like it's fast. It's coming away fast. No break in anything. So I think Mario's living it up now with not coaching in high school season. So he's kind of able to just sit back a little bit more.
He's having fun in Japan right now.
Yeah, he is. See those blue tights?
Oh my gosh, embarrassing. Green one day and blue the other.
Yeah, my wife thinks I'm a fool. So, I don't know. They have some places though this year. So
yeah, had 2 finalists. I don't know what the final result was, but I know they had 2 finalists.
Yeah. I don't know how tough the tournament necessarily is. I know Icho was there wrestling, but it's really, you got to talk to somebody who knows, Japanese culture and the wrestling scene there. I don't know. I had heard before that it was kind of a rural part of Japan. They're trying to build it though, and so good thing though is like Japanese will spend money on their wrestling, so getting a big name at a tournament. I mean, you got a multiple world champ there wrestling. It's pretty big. So luckily none of Mario's girls ran into her.
Yeah, that would have been not fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what's up. The boys' college season's coming up too. Any storylines you're really working towards on that?
I'm interested to see where these guys go. I know Penn State keeps the boys keep screwing around on Instagram and social media, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go up if Mark Hall redshirts," and then like Bo Jordan will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut if." Bo Nickel will be like, "I'm gonna cut if Mark Hall cuts too," and then they just like keep putting like literally trying to lead people astray on purpose. which is funny because Kale doesn't like any sort of social media, but I think it's cool that these kids have like a little personality and they're able to screw around with people.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I seeing Kale and then seeing how those kids are, like they tend to really have a good time there. Like I know it annoyed people for a long time when Kale was like, they were like, "What are you doing different, Kale?" And he's like, "We're just having a good time." It just annoyed people. Like, that's not about how you win a wrestling match. And it's like, no, that's how I want my kids to be. I always tell them, like, I want you to be like Jekyll and Hyde. Be absolute sweethearts off the mat, and then on the mat you're just that animal. And that's I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this season plans out. I mean, Selma, are they going to reload? Northview's got some new coaches that are back again. They got, some hammers coming through. I saw Bauer's team today. Deverick looks really good. Danny looks really good. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the season starts to play out, overall. There's some teams too that I think they're growing too. Foothill High School has like 40 girls. El Toro High School has like 30 girls. Like those teams are growing, and then of course Southern Section loses all those Central Coast people. No more Pioneer Valley, no more Santa Maria, stuff like that.
Yeah, which wasn't a big deal for the girls' side. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of placers up there. The boys' side, there was a few
hammers up there.
There isn't, Paso Robles was just getting tough, which is fine to let them go up to the Central Section.
Bye, Felicia.
See you guys. And then, now does LA area, or I know San Gabriel's maybe doing it with the boys. Do they have a all-star match preseason? Because girls, Orange County's doing it. They're doing one coming up. I don't even know the date yet, but they are doing one.
Ooh, who's going to be, is Michaela on there?
Yeah, Michaela's on there. I don't know I haven't seen a lineup yet. I just pretty much, they asked for like interest at the coaches preseason.
I have a name that might want to get thrown in there for that match. Hopefully,
yeah.
I'll just hold my breath and see if it happens.
Well, I know one of the Foothill girls got, I think maybe two of the Foothill girls might have gotten asked to do it.
Yeah, they got a state qualifier, I think, from Foothill.
Yeah, the state qualifier. But did she graduate or is she?
No, she's there, I think. She's there. Yeah, she's got one more
year. Up in the 130.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger girl. I say bigger, not that bigger.
Not that bigger, yeah. Bigger than our girls. But yeah, I think there's going to be some good. I mean, the takedown tournaments, we saw some girls, and I was just like, that's interesting. There's going to be some tough girls coming through there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be fun this year. I still think the San Gabriel regional is going to be the toughest, probably, like in terms of depth, because some of the girls that did transfer are still in that region, regardless. So that'll be interesting. See.
Which one do you think is going to be tougher?
The one that's typically held in San Gabriel. It's usually at Upland. That regional, I think, is probably one of the tougher ones. Even
that Corona one's going to be tough too. It's notoriously tough.
Yeah,
it depends on the weight. It's like anything. It depends on the weight where you're at.
Yeah, I would love to go through that Orange County one, though. I'm just going to say, like, just be, not have to lick our wounds so much. I mean, last year when Estrada had to go through Bowman every single stage, regionals, sections, state.
You got to move.
Shit.
Got to move to Orange County. Come on over. Come on over.
Bring some depth. So yeah, there's a transfer that just happened in Orange County actually. So
really?
Yeah, I think it's all said and done, but I don't want to open my mouth too soon. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. I was like, it's gonna be all right. So more on that later, I think.
I mean, school already started, so it doesn't.
Yeah. So that's going to be kind of
We'll have to have a whole episode like once all the dust settles.
Yeah, once everything settles. Once the season like officially starts,
yeah,
we can be like boom, 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 and start laying it all out and stuff like that. So what's going on with your tournament, though? Any big names coming through?
Not anything yet. I mean, we got some big teams that have already committed, already. So, which brings some big names. We don't have any. What? Like Selma, like Corona.
Ooh.
Like San Fernando.
Ooh. Ooh.
like
Gonna get Birmingham there
Menachie.
too?
What?
Gonna get Birmingham there too?
I'm working on it. I think they host like a lower level tournament that weekend. He was trying to see
Come on,
what.
Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy.
I know,
Get in
Jimmy.
there. Then you could find out who's gonna be who really has the lead going into sections for LA City and Southern.
Yeah.
And then if you get Golden Valley with Selma, that could be 3 sections that could really get an idea of like who's where. Golden Valley's tough, man. They got girls that are tough. So
That's where Genesis is out of, right?
no, Genesis is out of Coach Eddie's out of darn it, Wolfpack. Ridgeview.
Oh, Ridgeview. Okay.
Yeah. So no disrespect to them. They got some hammers. But
Golden
yeah,
Valley has the numbers. They got
yeah,
a lot of
they got
numbers.
girls, yeah. So I think some other schools too got some girls in there. I know Redwood's got some girls that are tough and some stuff like that. Of course, Eddie's got girls. So yeah, and then it was actually the first weekend of college wrestling for girls too. So it was kind of cool to see. We had a Fargo final for Diamond Guilford, her and Sydney Kimber, both Somar girls. They came through and wrestled in the finals against each other. Diamond kind of rolled her way through and then beat Kimber in the final 7-6. Kimber's tough, dude. Sydney Kimber's tough. And then Angie Gomez took first place at 101s. Like she's making that weight.
Making
Yeah,
that weight still.
yeah.
That's odd for a girl because usually that freshman 15 gets you right away. But
Yeah, but nah, man, she's doing it. Link's doing good things, man. I think Link's some like that people sleep on sometimes. They hear the King and the Simon Fraser and Campbellsville. They hear those and they think they're sleeping on Link, and I think Link's gonna creep up on them. So
but is he really the girls coach? Isn't he the overall coach and his wife coaches the
he's got a lot of day-to-day still that he's doing with them. So he's I mean, yeah, I would venture to guess too, even though Christie's, even if she's running the practice and everything, I mean, obviously she's super experienced. She's most decorated female I think we've had. And yeah, that program's just got so much, honestly. Like I love the fact that dude, that guy's always game. Like I can, call him and like, hey dude, we need you for a combine. That guy, if his team is out, he'll fly in, run a session, and fly right back out to his team. He's just awesome guy. So wish them luck, all the luck in the world. Hung out with Coach Paul this weekend. They had some visits this weekend. I know we have some other girls that are going to take visits up there too. According to everybody I talked to, if you visit Southern Oregon, you're going to sign. If you're from California, you visit Southern Oregon, you're going to sign. Like it's it's a good spot up there. And I saw
they got some. Yeah, they got some not weird, but they got some like ROTC money they can throw at you, and California and state, or it's not out of state, and a couple like thing. They got some good financial packages going for these girls, which is awesome. The less money parents can pay, then it's more beneficial.
Yeah, and you got a coach who really is pushing the girls, traveling with the girls, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really big. Hey, did you see Andy Cook is coaching the Indian team?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to get that guy on the podcast.
I've heard that they've been, looking for Americans to coach men's and women's, like just trying to throw a bunch of money at him.
Yeah.
And hopefully it was a great experience for him.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know not everybody has a good relationship with Andy. Like, they got, opinions, but I have a great relationship with Andy. I think Andy's freaking great.
He's always been an awesome guy to me, and good for him. Like, he kind of got, I don't know if it was shafted or whatever, but he was supposed to go somewhere and it didn't happen. And luckily he landed on his feet and, now coaching international.
Well, when I talked to him, he said that too. He was kind of disheartened when it all kind of went down that way. He didn't really get the position he wanted or thought he was going to get. And he was like, dude, it's just God works in some serious ways. Like, it just ended. I thought that was where I was supposed to be. And it turns out, no, like I'm going international. So, I mean, hey, guy's a talented coach, man. I mean, can't argue that.
He's produced some tough girls. And I mean, he even had Becca Leathers following him wherever he was going, but I don't think she's following him to India. So
I don't think she's doing that. So, but yeah, no, it was a lot. Like, good for him. I mean, he's still gonna get to coach somewhere and do some things. So, I hung out with Axel Molina this weekend too. Wrestle Like a Girl. And they put us through these drills. I don't know if you saw on my my Instagram. They put us through these drills, dude, and there was only 3 females in the certification course, and AXA was like his go-to, and it was Supplé. Supplé was running their drills, showing us how to condition people with their products and stuff, and AXA was the one. And I know I wasn't prepared. I was not in shape. They had us like hand fighting and doing all kinds of stuff and going over some things, and I was the coach over at Lindsay College. Super cool guy. Super cool guy. I'm terrible with names. I'm a horrible human being. But super cool guy and a fellow little guy, I guess you could say.
Midget.
You know, I mean, we played handball against the curb after, and it was good, dude. We had a good time. But yeah, no, worked out with him. Worked out with some guys from Colorado. But yeah, it was just a good time, man. There was a lot of cool drills they did. The sports psych lady, Roberta there, man, she was phenomenal. Like just phenomenal. She like knocked my socks off with her presentation. She was really like honestly like I was in awe. She was really, really good. I don't want to be disrespectful, so I definitely want to get trying to find the Lindsay coach's name because the guy was super freaking cool. So, but yeah, no, I had a great time. It wasn't Corey Roth. That's I think the head men's coach. Gotta be somebody else there though. Hang on a second. Like I said, oh Myron Badbury, dude. I'm gonna be honest. He might not ever see this because this is girls wrestling, but super cool guy. I had a like cool time with that guy. I was also roomed up with the University of Penn, RTC, and they were super cool guys too. Everybody was super cool, dude. It was just like a really good event overall. It was cold though. I was not ready for the cold. I'm a sissy Californian. I sounded like such a voice. I'm walking with Axel Molina out of the West Wing, which is kind of like on the far side of the campus, and we come out and it's like dark already, and I have this light jacket on, and I'm like walking with Axel Molina, and I'm like, Axa, I'm so cold right now. My tongue is swelling, looking for heat. Like it's ridiculous. This is not the way life should be. It was so cold, and then I finally like
it was like 31 degrees.
Meanwhile, it was 57 degrees, but I mean, still, like it doesn't matter. Like it was cold, right? There was a wind chill, and so it was cool. And I got to be in the snow, which I had only been one other time really, and I drove in the snow, which was kind of a scary thing because I usually, if I go somewhere, if I'm running a tournament in Michigan with or Wisconsin with McFadden, I tell them ahead of time. If I'm running a tournament there and it snows, you're gonna have to come pick me up. I'm a sissy. I don't know how to drive in the snow. I'm a total California and LA guy. I don't know how to drive in the snow. So they laugh at me and they usually will pick me up. But yeah, so overall, that was a super good experience. I had a good time with it. But coming up this week, though, is Freak Show. You probably will not be back on Sunday in time for the podcast. So we'll probably bump it to like Monday or Tuesday. So, we'll definitely want to get some insight how it was run, matchups, all that stuff. Of course, I'll be in your ear. Like, get to that matchup. Let me know how it goes. That kind of stuff.
I'll get some interviews out there.
That'll be really good. If you can do that, I will put them in and we'll figure it out. Even if, like, dude, if you could just get somebody off to the corner, text me. We'll go live and just keep it. So that would be a lot of fun. But anyhow, all right, let's wrap it up. I know you got to drive up to Bakersfield tomorrow. We got some other cool stuff going on. So. But shout out to everybody again who supported the SOMAR series. It was really, really big. A lot of fun, and I know the kids had fun. So thank you for that. Thank you for coaches, parents, everybody who supported. Anything you want to go over before we take off?
No, just keep it up. It's the time. It's the time to start grinding for all these girls and coaches. It's ready. It's go time. February is going to be coming quick.
Yeah, better start licking those wounds now. Get over those itty bitty owies that people have. You know, I know I haven't tried to manage those, but alrighty, guys. Thank you, everybody. Follow us on iTunes, on Google Play, all that good stuff. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Like us, subscribe to us, promote us, please. Put us out there as much as you can. We want to grow this as much as possible. All right. Take care, guys.